Hey there, welcome back to the Category Mistake. Today we're going to talk about the fascinating world of the world I live in and why I do this podcast and why the things that I talk about are more for me and people like me than other things that maybe you watch on YouTube. Imagine trying to love with a ruler. Sounds silly, right? It does to me, but this is the kind of category mistake we make all the time. It's when we apply the wrong kind of thinking to a problem. Mixing up things that belong to different categories. These mistakes can lead to all sorts of confusion, especially when it comes to understanding big concepts. Mind versus body, consciousness versus AI. Right now AI is a big thing. ChatGPT and other things, Copilot, I think Gemini for Google. We all have different things that now we look up and we try to figure out, and we help them, they help us with our consciousness, with our thoughts, with ideas. And that's kind of a difficult thing we're going through right now. Even YouTube now, starting I think yesterday, certain AI stuff is no longer being monetized because they've realized AI is making too many thoughts for us. On my channel, we take a deep dive into the philosophical puzzle, which is our brain. Okay, logic, illogical things, anxiety, depression, stress, how those balance with real world things like, working, teaching, having a family, being a father, being a mother, being a sister, being a boyfriend, all different things, okay? I like using real world examples. I talk about myself a lot. Why? Because it's easy, because I know myself, right? But I've also talked about fellow people I've known in the past, from students to teachers, to just people I know from the real world. And I try to make the concepts clear, not always. I ramble sometimes, and that's just how my brain processes things. For example, what happens when we treat AI like it's a human, or when we confuse physical measurements with emotional experiences? These aren't just academic questions. They affect how we think, how we communicate, and even how we build our technology. We're all about improving how we think. We'll break down complex ideas, challenge your assumptions, and help you become more mindful about the categories you use and understand the world. I do that because right now I'm trying to break down those categories, and when I break down a new category, I'm like, I'll share it. The big thing I've noticed lately is AI, and how AI and normal thinking have become one. It used to be we Google everything, now we ChatGPT everything. Google is a verb instead of a noun. Instead of a proper noun, we use it as a verb all the time. Each video I do is a little different. It's a journey into better thinking. Whether you're a philosopher, you like philosophy or deep thinking, or if you just like my whimsical ideas, or if you just like to listen to me, which would be a little weird. I try to get you a little curious about why do I think that way, or why does someone like me think that way. I like to dig deeper into certain thoughts. I've talked about death and dying. I've talked about relationships that have been strained, that have been brought back, and everything in between. I talk about different categories, but I connect them all together with a one general idea. I'm different than you are. You're different than the person next to you. But we all have similarities. And a lot of our similarities are the things that we think make us weaker. Our anxiety, our stress, our depression, our just frustration with the world. We all think, it makes me weak. I should just be able to just do this. My big thing is, when I'm doing these things, sometimes I mix up words or I go on a tangent. And those things, I feel like, that's just me. When really it's so many people. I bring up the idea of questioning yourself, questioning your thoughts, questioning your ideas, questioning what you're doing every day, and trying to untangle the mess of cobwebs in your head. I have a mess of cobwebs in my head every day. Every day I kind of focus, try to figure out what I'm going to do, how I'm going to make this better, how today is going to be different, okay? Join me on that adventure. That's all I ask every day. Today, if you listened to something and you heard it and you liked it, outstanding. If it didn't, watch a different video. Maybe it does. If it doesn't, maybe I'm not your cup of tea. But thank you for trying. Thank you for watching. Every video is going to be different. Every video is going to have a different camera shot, maybe. Every video is going to have a different sound quality. And it's not because I get bored and change it out. It's because some days the technology loves me and some days it doesn't. I don't have a studio. I don't have lots of brand new equipment. I have, mixed match of different stuff. And I just do my best to get it to come together as a single unit. Some days you'll hear my dogs barking in the background. Some days you won't. Some days you'll hear an AC or a car. It's because, it's hot out and I have my back window open. It's just life. Now, other YouTubers, they spend a lot of time and I don't know how they do it. They spend a lot of time and they perfect their art. They get it perfect. They get it where they want it to be. They shoot and reshoot and they make it clean. I'm not there yet. And maybe I'll never be there. I've experimented with putting graphics on the screen. I've experimented with different sounds, different intros, different tags. But really the whole concept of this is I want to share my experiences with you. I don't do it perfectly. Never have, never will. But I'm authentic. When you watch me, when you listen to me, you can trust me in knowing that this is who I am. I'm not different. I'm not Mr. Beast. I'm not all these other big YouTubers. I'm just a guy who did lots of crazy stuff in his life, which a lot of people have done. And I'm experiencing things that maybe a lot of people have experienced. I'm just telling you how I experience it and how maybe I'm doing it a little differently than everybody else. Doesn't mean my way is the right way. Doesn't mean your way is the right way. What I've discovered with talking with other people and going through all this is that all of us have good methods and all of us have bad methods. And sharing those methods is the best way to grow together. The category mistake, or the word category, this comes from a guy who showed me that I was special and I wasn't a bad special. Being original, being different, being me doesn't make me weak. Some days I still feel like I am, but that guy really just, he taught me that being the best me I can be, yes, I'm different. Yes, they cracked the mold, as some would say, but it's good. I'm not trying to conform to the world. And what I've noticed with doing these videos and some other things is I'm trying to be like other people. I'm trying to streamline it and be better and be cool and get lots of people to watch. I don't need to be cool and streamline for people to watch. What I need to be is myself. And if you don't like it, you don't watch. And if you do like it, great. But that's basically what this is. The Category Mistake is a podcast, YouTube channel, whatever you want to call it. It's a channel for me to express how I'm dealing with the world. I have a job interview tomorrow. Probably won't get it. I don't know if I'm ready to do it, but I have one tomorrow. And this will be a good stepping stone to see if therapy, medication, and doing things like this are actually helping me get through some of the barriers that I've had over the last year or so, which is I get really stressed, I start talking fast, I ramble on, I fidget, I can't sit still, which I guess is fidgeting, and I sometimes get really loud and really aggressive. And I've been really trying to focus on not being that way when I'm nervous or anxious. Tomorrow's a good point for that. I get to see a good measuring stick. I get to see if I've made strides. Now, it isn't about me getting the job if I've made strides. I know what I did the last time I had an interview. I know how I felt. I know afterwards, as soon as I was done, I knew what had happened. I knew how I felt. Tomorrow when I do it, I'll be able to judge that against the last time and the time before that, where I definitely saw my weaknesses, but I also said, okay, next time I'm going to do this. So having a job is important, but being healthy mentally is more important. I'm now off depression meds. I'm only on ADHD meds, which is good. And what I've discovered is I do have pretty bad ADHD, and that was and is affecting my mental health. Is it the only thing? Probably not. Do I have more to go? Absolutely. But seeing the progress, feeling the progress, having other people see and feel the progress, that's important to me. Knowing that I'm growing and I'm changing and it's for the betterment of myself. These are all positive things. Now, the last person who will probably see the deep, deep change will be my wife. Why? Because she's with me every day. These small changes people see more when they don't see me every day. But she'll see it. I think she notices a little bit. She still gets frustrated because my brain sometimes just space cadets out and forgets things. Like, doing something as simple as making the bed or a bank deposit or doing something up in the attic that I was supposed to do. These small things are still things I forget. Now, I do them. It's just sometimes they're not when I'm supposed to or as fast as I'm supposed to. And I think that's a frustrating part for her. But I think she's noticing a little bit. But others have noticed more, and I'm really pleased with that. I'm going to end with this today. First, subscribe if you can, if you want. Like the video. Doing this every day has been a challenge. Now, it's not a challenge with coming up with content. It's not a challenge with talking in front of a camera. It's the challenge of giving myself freedom mentally to do something for 45 minutes that has nothing to do with anybody else but myself. Doing this every day is difficult for that reason. A lot of people who do this say schedule it like it's a job. It's a job. It's a job. This isn't my job. During the day, I'm doing other tasks. I'm doing other things. And for me, it's a challenge because I have to carve out time just for this. Now, I love doing it. I'm going to continue to do it. But the way I'm doing it, some days the posts are going to come early. Some days are going to come late. And it's not because I don't have content or something happened. It's finding my time to do it. Finding time in my mind where I'm okay with setting aside, 13 minutes at this moment. And those are the things. Those are the things that I struggle with doing this. I always feel like when I do these videos or I play a video game or I do Legos or I do a drive, that I'm being selfish. And that's something that I've struggled with for a long time. In being selfish, you kind of start beating yourself up. Now, have I gotten better with it? Some days I am okay with it. Monday I had a friend over who they live in Virginia. Don't see him that often in person. He came up. I spent the whole day with him Monday. I didn't focus on anything else, which maybe I should have, but I didn't focus on anything else because I wanted to spend time with him. And I felt a little bad, but at the end of the day, I knew that my wife has set this up with him to surprise me. I didn't know he was coming. So if she set this up for me to spend time with him, she wasn't going to be mad at me for spending time with him, okay? And that's the big thing, right? That's the big thing is if you have a loved one and you feel like sometimes you're not giving them the time and energy they need, understand that sometimes they want time alone to do their thing, and it's okay for you to do the same. Doesn't mean go away for 2 weeks or don't pay attention to your loved one. What it means is find the balance. Find the balance between your tasks, your hobbies, your passions, and theirs. And maybe find some passions you two can do together. So the Category Mistake is my channel. It's who I am. I have worn that badge proudly since 1989. I'll continue to wear it. when the day comes that the man who gave me that goes on to the next world and he passes away, I will dedicate that word every day to him. I will still wear it proudly. Because it's not, a lot of people are like, oh, that seems kind of mean. It's not. Calling someone a category mistake isn't calling them a mistake. It's calling them original. It's calling them the real thing. It's calling them who they are. They're authentic. Now, I'm not always authentic with what I say. I'm not always authentic with what I do. Sometimes the pressure of life gets to me and I do dumb things. But I try to live my life the only way I know how. I live it as me. And some days that goes great, some days it doesn't. But I'm going to continue to do it. I'm going to continue to try to be better. And maybe, just maybe someday, there'll be more category mistakes out there in the world. If you want to be one, join me. Reach out. Maybe we can talk. Till next time, thank you for watching.